Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and I'm back with another season 4 of Raising Kanan, Theory and Prediction, and I'm calling it right now. Season 4 is the season where Jukebox finally puts hands, feet, and teeth, and maybe even a knife, on Kanan for acting tough. The reason why I'm making this video is because I thought about the escalation of the conflicts between Jukebox and Kanan over the previous 3 seasons. And it has already become physical if you paid attention to their most recent argument. I'm going to explain the situation or situations that may cause this argument and how this fight is going to go and how this fight will likely result in Kanan finally receiving the scar on his neck from Jukebox. This video is for show. Gonna be another banger. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright now, y'all. Let's break it down like this. We can see in OG Power that there's a multitude of reasons why Kanan and Jukebox were estranged. For one, Kanan was locked up for 10 years. For two, Jukebox was a cop. Those are the 2 most obvious things. Everything else is more subtle and not so obvious. Other things come into play, like Jukebox's controlling nature, which she inherited from Rock, while also having her "I'll do anything for my family" nature that she inherited from Marvin. She has this big sister nature of "I'm going to tell you what to do and you need to listen to me because I know what's best for you," in which we have seen time and time again over the previous 3 seasons of Raising Kanan. We got Kanan, who will always and has always been the reluctant, "I'm going to do things on my own. I'm going to do things my way. I'm not going to let you women boss me around," right? That complex that he has with the women in his life. And we've already seen 2 or 3 arguments that could have went there between Kanan and Jukebox already. But as I tell you how it escalated from the first to the most recent argument from them, you will understand that the next time they get into it for real, it is most likely going to turn physical, and not only physical, but bloody. And when I say bloody, I mean both of them will bleed, and it will result in Kanan receiving his scar. So now, let's start off like this. The very first argument that happened between Kanan and Jukebox was in season 1, when Kanan was still very green, very green to the game, and he wanted to accuse Scrap, right? Scrap, of all people, right? The most loyal soldier in Power history, of being a rat. He goes to Jukebox. He says, "Yo, Jukebox, Scrap is a rat. I'm gonna take care of that situation." Jukebox says, "Nigga, are you dumb? Scrap is basically family. He's Rock's most loyal soldier. You have absolutely no evidence for what you're talking about." She proceeds to also tell Kanan, "Yo, listen, speaking of family, this family has secrets, things that you do not want to know about, things that you wish you never heard about. By the way, we have not even began to uncover what those secrets are in regards to Jukebox and Kanan. And this could also be the reason why they get into their fight that results in Kanan getting his scar." But anyways, Kanan says to Jukebox, "I know your secrets too, right? Watch your mouth." Jukebox then looks Kanan in the eye without showing an ounce of fear. She says, "You think I'm scared of you, nigga?" Storms off. Of course they squash. One of the next times that they have a conflict was right after Kanan shot Detective Howard. Kanan is confiding in Jukebox, of course, that's his big sister. No one understands Kanan like his big sister. Jukebox looks at Kanan and she says, "You think I don't know you, nigga? You shook. You shook. You don't even understand who you are, but it's scary that you already think you know who you are," right? This was once again Jukebox sunning Kanan and telling him like, "Yo, listen, nigga, I know you. You're not this person who you think that you are," right? And by the end of OG Power, right up until she dies, we can assume that Jukebox always thought she truly knew who Kanan was and what he was capable of. Now, season 2, they definitely had their disagreements, but we're gonna fast forward to season 3, which is the most damning evidence of what is in store for them in season 4, okay? Kanan starts getting involved with Ronnie Mathis. Kanan starts getting involved with Pop and Snaps and them. Jukebox, of course, calls them thugsters. Another hint that she'll become a cop in the future, because she looks down on those kinds of people, right? Once they really start moving the heroin, Jukebox, the gangster, who's always been more gangster than Kanan, she barges herself into Kanan's business, storms into the house, about to get into it, right? With Ronnie and Kanan's underlings. You know the whole, Ronnie comes out, he goes, Kanan's cousin, right? They come in. Y'all let me know what y'all think of my Ronnie impression. Kanan's cousin. Goes in right in front of Ronnie's face. She clowns Ronnie. And in the middle of that conversation, y'all know how it goes. She says, "So Kanan, what are you up to? What's going on with you and Famous? Is that and the third? What are you doing?" Y'all know Kanan, his nonchalant, "What you think I'm doing?" Right? "I'm living this life, getting this money," right? Jukebox. She says, "Who are you talking to?" She slaps whatever it was in Kanan's hand out of his hand. That's physicality. You have to understand that from a writer's perspective. You can't just go from Kanan and Jukebox having a disagreement and an argument one day, and then the very next time they physically fighting. They had to show an escalation. Every disagreement they have, every argument they have, is slightly more vicious than the next. With Jukebox, right, downing Kanan and sunning Kanan a little bit more than she did the last time. She sunned him to a high level this time, where she said it to his face and in front of Ronnie Mathis. She said, "I wiped the snot from your nose, nigga. I know who you are. You still a scared little boy trying to convince his mother that he's a man." And with that being said, storms out. They don't speak. They have their disagreements until the arranged kidnapping of Kanan happens, and they squashed it right before that, in which Jukebox used Kanan as a pawn. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about the possible scenarios that will lead to this huge fight, bloody fight between Kanan and Jukebox, in which he finally puts hands on him. For one thing, I already mentioned that Kanan arranged and used Jukebox as a tool in order to get the message to Rock. The situation that led to Rock pulling up with the money situation leads to Howard, right, and Ronnie Mathis being killed. Jukebox is not gonna like that, right? The next thing, Crystal being pregnant. If it comes out that Crystal is maybe pregnant by another guy, or she's lying to Kanan, and Kanan is too dumb to make her sit down and piss on the stick. If she does something bad to Crystal, right? Let's say if Crystal's her first body, this will cause a big situation between her and Kanan, okay? Right? Nextly, Jukebox finally telling Kanan some kind of secret that maybe he wasn't supposed to be told. Maybe it slipped out in the heat of an argument. This will lead to a physical altercation between Kanan and Jukebox. And how this goes is this. We cannot expect Kanan to just punch Jukebox in the face because she says something. So what's more likely to happen is that Jukebox will hit Kanan first. Kanan will retaliate by pushing her very hard. Something like that. Maybe then he punches her back. We have seen Jukebox hand skills more than we've seen Kanan's. But Kanan is, by biology, bigger and stronger than Jukebox. So it's going to look even. Kanan is likely to get the upper hand on Jukebox. He going to forget who he dealing with. If he finds himself on top of Jukebox's body, this is when we have Jukebox pull out a blade. She's going to cut Kanan. Or, in an even more humiliating situation, what if Jukebox completely blacks out and she's on top of Kanan, pulls out the blade, doesn't realize how far she's about to take it until after she draws blood on Kanan by giving him the scar on his neck. And then she backs away. They don't talk for a minute. Maybe she goes to military school, to the military after that. But I believe that she will go to the military not only after giving Kanan his scar, but also after catching her first body. This is what I believe, how it will go down. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God-given. That's touched by an angel. That's on the dome, nigga.